Okay, so I just started recording. Now we're going to move on to webinar 3. So when we focus on a case plan, we are able to help the family focus on change and what change is going to look like and what the individual change will look like. This helps to create more concrete direction for a family instead of just going for it, right? SBC, as a reminder, doesn't measure like success or progress based on compliance with a service. Why is that? Why are we not so concerned with service compliance? Why is service compliance not an accurate test of progress?
Because you may go to 5 different, parenting training and still don't get it. Still, you need to learn. What we're looking is the change of behavior.
Exactly.
We're looking for behavior change, concrete behavior change. I could go to parenting classes and sit in the back of the room and do this the whole time. I am not absorbing a thing. So, when we're working to build consensus and figuring out what plan is going to work best, what's the best way to get information about a family to inform this, to inform our case plans and build consensus? You should see a poll on the screen. We're going to start doing polls, but we're starting easy this week. We're starting with some easy ones. Just take another second to do this. All right, I'm ending it in 3, 2, 1. And beautiful. No one has suggested that we should look at Facebook. We should not Google our clients. What do we accomplish by having family team meetings in the beginning? We're starting to get organized and develop outcomes for families. What's the benefit?
Address immediate concerns.
Addressing immediate concerns. Yep. Richard, what were you going to say?
Building a consensus.
Building the consensus, absolutely. Yeah, we're demonstrating very clearly that they have a seat at the table for this whole process. We're not going to develop plans without them. We are not going to develop outcomes without them. It's just not going to happen.
You're also identifying their strengths as well.
Why is that
Make it family feel like they're in control. Is their service plan.
Yeah, SBC does not say that I am case planner, you are client, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do to get me out of your hair and close this case. Quite the opposite, in fact. SBC says that we are coming together. We are not going to develop outcomes, and we'll talk about outcome statements today. We're not going to come to consensus. We're not going to get specific, and we're not going to document and set, all the 4 milestones without you. So that being said, take a minute to read through this scenario. It's 12:53. I'll give you until 12:57 to read through this. While you're reading through it, take care to identify the family level issues and the individual level issues, okay? After that, I'm going to put you into breakout groups to discuss what some of those issues are. So take a couple minutes, family level and individual level.
Maria, do you know how do I remove like the camera thing?
Yep, so up in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a whole bunch of different options. You can click either.
Oh, I done it, thank you.
Sure. If anyone else is having trouble seeing the screen, please let me know. So take another 3 minutes to read through the scenario, and then I'm going to put everyone into breakout rooms. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put folks into breakout rooms. In your breakout rooms, I'd like for you to figure out what some of the family level issues are, the individual level issues, and what made you come to that conclusion. Any questions about what I'm asking of you before I go ahead and put you in the breakout rooms? You feel good? Great. Okay, see you soon. Welcome back. Okay. Did I interrupt people too quickly?
No, it's
Sufficient amount of time? Okay, good.
mhm.
What are some family issues of concern that this family is experiencing right
Supervision.
now? So don't be too dazzled by my penmanship that I'm about to throw at you. You assume that's a supervision. What else? What are some other family level issues?
Do you want other people, right? To
Yeah, whoever. This is.
we also said,
Housing. Sorry.
What was
we
that?
ignored
The housing condition.
Housing. So cleanliness of home. Is that fair to say?
yeah, home condition.
Cleanliness of. What else?
Discuss childcare.
Healthcare. What else? Any other family level issues that we're worried about with this family?
Substance abuse.
No,
Be individual.
that's
Hold
individual.
on to that one though, because we're going to come back to that when we talk about individual. Any other family issues of concern? Concerns that are related to the whole.
Safety can go under, safety can also go under supervision, because children being unattended, that's, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Any other family level issues that we're worried about? Great. So we have supervision, the condition of the home, the cleanliness of the home, and childcare. What are our individual issues of concern?
Substance abuse.
So substance use.
Mental health. Mom is
Depression.
depressed.
Depression, yeah.
Yeah, that can go under mental health.
Education, she wants to go back to school and get her high school diploma.
Watch where I'm going to put that one.
I'm deeply saddened.
Hmm?
No. You put it outside the box?
Not worried about
Shit.
that yet. We'll talk about why.
Okay.
What other individual issues of concern are we looking at here? We have mental health, we have substance use.
Oh, the lack of sponsor. That's kind of like, yeah.
So let's put over here. No. Sponsor. Thinking about our case, what our cases, right? So substance use, emotional control, personal hurdles, substance use, anything else that we're concerned about with this fam. I think this kind of encompasses it, right? So let's talk about a consensus summary. How do we, before we go there, do we feel like these issues are happening completely independently of each other, or are they very like close cousins, all of these issues?
Close.
They're all very interrelated.
Very, very interrelated, right? So how do we how do we create a consensus summary saying it sounds like your old plan for addressing blank is not working, and we hope to help you come up with a new plan to address blank. So we're not creating an old plan for supervision, new plan for supervision, old plan for the home, new plan for the home, old plan for child, because that's overwhelming, right? It's overwhelming. It's too much work for us. So how do we phrase our consensus summaries to like 1 and 2? Anyone want to take a crack at it? What do all of these 3 things have in common? Her substance use, perhaps her mental health. We don't know if she has a diagnosis yet, but she has disclosed she's grieving, she's depressed. What are these, how are these related? What can we help mom identify?
They're all connected. They all reflect that something it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that the home is not being taken care of, the fact that she prefers to have the kids outside, the fact that she lost her sponsor, it's all a chain of issues that are connected.
So why do people use substances sometimes? Starts with letter C.
The mechanism.
Coping. Yeah, absolutely. So perhaps we are going to help mom explore some healthier coping mechanisms. That way she can safely parent the children. So if we're going to take all of this and write coping, because that's kind of encompassing all of this, right? Her substance use, her possible depression. She needs a healthy outlet here. So how are we phrasing our consensus summary if our individual level issue is being summarized by coping? Think old plan, new plan. The language of consensus is old plan, new plan. Is my question clear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you say it again, Maria? The question?
Yep. So when we're building a consensus summary, it sounds to me like your old plan for blank is not working. So my hope is that we can come together to come up with a new plan to address blank so you can blah, 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 blah. So knowing that format, old plan, new plan, how do we create a consensus summary for the individual level issue of concern?
Is it no shaming?
No shaming, that's definitely part of it, but I want to hear you say the consensus summary. It sounds to me like, I've said it a couple of times. I'm just looking for someone to repeat it back to me. Richard, you're muted. If you're yelling at your computer, I can't hear you right now.
I'm trying to think of like how to phrase it. I think you're trying to say, it sounds like your old plan.
Yes.
For
Yes.
coping with your struggle. Well, I don't know, like what struggles.
Challenges.
I'm throwing someone in. It sounds like your old plan for coping. Ooh, someone just said, or Karen just said it. Coping ways that will help your family. I don't know.
You're right there. You're so close. You're so close. It's ridiculous. It's
all right.
To me
help out.
Like your old plan with your coping, your old plan to address your coping mechanisms, your old plan for coping is not working. Right? Based on what we spoke about, it sounds like your old coping mechanisms are not working. My hope is to work together to come up with some new strategies to help you cope, a new plan to help you cope with all the very normal challenges that life has to offer you when you are a parent of 3 young children. Right? Not saying you messed up, you left your kids outside alone. Now we got to, get together to figure out a way that you don't mess up again, right? That's Liliana, that's where that shame language comes in. You should have done this, you should have done that. We're here, it sounds like the old plan for this isn't working. Let's come up with a new plan to develop some healthier coping habits, coping mechanisms, whatever language you want to use. Let's talk about the family issues of concern. What's our deal breaker in our family issue of concern?
Supervision.
I would agree with you on that, Richard. So with the same format, how do we come up with a consensus summary to demonstrate our understanding of the problem? Old plan, new plan.
Sounds like your old plan for supervising your children isn't working.
So it seems like we should come up with a new plan so that you can more effectively supervise your children to ensure their safety and
Beautiful.
well-being.
Thank you, Chandler. Yeah, so we have, instead of saying old plan, new plan for substance use, old plan, new plan for mental health, old plan, new plan for education. The reason I put education off to the side is that is, yes, we want to support mom through this. However, I am not coming up with a plan for her to get her education. That is not going to directly impact the supervision of the children, where I'm more concerned about her coping. It's wonderful that she wants to go back to school and get her degree, and if we can help her along the way, great. And I'm certainly not keeping a child welfare case open because mom doesn't have a degree. Lost my train of thought now. Okay, right, so we're not coming up with consensus summaries or action plans for each of these things. How do we figure out how many of these issues are related, particularly when they are deal breakers, and come up with one nice, shiny consensus summary and action plan? Any questions so far? Beautiful. Where's my thing? There it is. So what is SBC? How does SBC define outcomes? This was in this was like the crux of the e-learning for today. How does SBC define outcomes? What is an outcome in SBC?
Isn't it something to do with, because I'm trying to remember, like the FAST, we put the family will follow the X plan or Y plan or whatever the name of the plan is to ensure blah, blah, blah.
Yep, so the outcome is what you want to happen and how it's going to happen. So when we're figuring out, this is our action planning stage. This is our case planning stage. So when we're thinking about an action plan, again, a nice, cute, easy poll. What are the 3 words to keep in mind when we are helping families develop outcomes?
Sorry, can you repeat? Oh.
It's on the screen. Who, what, and why.
Okay. Yep, so who, what, and why. What's the who in this?
The mother.
Yeah, right, so who is gonna use the plan? What's like the what? What's the what?
What is she gonna do? Like what is she?
Yeah, what is she gonna do? What is the plan called? And why? It's just the purpose.
Example for the safety.
And safety.
Yeah.
Yep, always back to the safety. We're not creating plans because it feels good for us. It's not for our own health. It's not to have something, just something to document. It has to serve a purpose. When we create plans around non-issues, it just makes things muddy and more confusing for families. Beautiful. Most of my planning is surrounded by around breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but nothing else for right now. So who will use this objective? We are clearly identifying it as if it is a family or an individual. The family will use, mom, Miss so-and-so will use, Mr. So-and-so will use. Name the person, you know, Carmen will use, Timothy will use. What is the plan? Does it have a name or is it just a plan, right? SBC, I've seen in training before people try to come up with like the most clever names for plans. That's not like a requirement for SBC. The more important thing is that the family is actually going to use the plan and that the plan will work. And then why discusses a specific safety outcome. It is not just to ensure the safety of the children, right? Why is using the word ensure safety kind of a wonky thing? Why do we not use the words ensure safety?
Because you can never ensure safety.
I cannot ensure that I will not get my wallet stolen on my way home. I can't ensure my own safety. How in the world I'm supposed to ensure the safety of another person? We can promote safety, we can encourage safety, and do all the things besides ensure it. Connecting it to a specific safety outcome to promote the supervision of the children, to encourage adequate attendance, encourage consistent attendance at medical appointments. What is the specific safety issue, not just ensure safety? Does that make sense? The difference between those two things make sense? Those are helpful. Great. Okay. So here's how we phrase our outcomes. The family will use, what is the plan, and what is the purpose that it serves. The family will successfully use their plan to safely discipline so the kids do their chores and everyone is safe from physical harm. Do the chores, particularly when disciplining, not just ensuring the safety. So with this context, I'm going to put everyone back into the breakout rooms, and I would like for you to come up with a family level outcome for the family we talked about before, and an individual level outcome for the family we talked about before. And the issues are going to be the ones that we have identified. What were the two issues that we identified? Family and individual. What was the individual?
Safety and substance abuse.
So it was safety and coping, right?
Coping.
Encompass all of those individual issues we identified. So a family level outcome about supervision and an individual level outcome about coping. Any questions before I put folks back into the breakout rooms? No, you feel good? Delightful. Okay, see you in a bit. Welcome back again.
Oh my God.
Here we are.
Okay, how did we do? We want to take a crack at stab at our individual level outcome. How would we phrase this?
Okay, Jessica took notes from our team, my special Jessica. So, Jessica, do you want to read it or because?
We are in the family level or individual level?
Let's start with individual.
Oh, the individual. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say family first.
Okay. Individually. Okay. Mom will use her personal journal to help her cope with negative feelings. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. Right. So if we have journaling as part of the plan, absolutely. We'll use her journaling plan to help her cope with her negative feelings so she can continue to safely parent her children.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jessica, that's what you forgot, the last one. Why?
Oh, yeah. All right, thank you.
The purpose why she's doing that.
That's true.
But we brought it, just she didn't want to read it, but we said it. We did say it actually.
Yeah, it's just
and Jessica, do you want to read? Do you want us to read, Maria, both of them, FLO and the ILO, or you just want one from each?
Just we'll move on to family in a second, but did anyone have anything different for an individual level outcome statement?
We did.
Go for it.
It was Miss Monica will follow up with her substance abuse treatment to assure proper supervision for the children.
You're really on the right track here. So so substance abuse treatment certainly could be in her plan, but and we'll talk about plans next week. But if we're starting from just developing the title of the plan for now. So Miss Monica will use let's name her plan. What would you name her plan, Myrani? Her sobriety plan.
Her sobriety plan.
I said get well plan.
Her what?
Her
get well plan. Absolutely. So mom will use her get well plan.
I like that one, Richard.
Get well is beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Miss Monica, because my understanding is that you guys don't use BM and BF and stuff like that. So Miss Monica will use her get well plan to manage her coping mechanisms.
I said to mom will use her get well plan to develop appropriate coping skills to address her sobriety and loss of sponsor and possible mental health concerns to better meet the needs of the children.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I love the get well plan. Let's move
Period.
on. Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Any other thoughts about individual plans? Yeah, as long as it's we name it for what it is. It's the sobriety plan, her get well plan, whatever we want to call it, and it's addressing a specific safety concern, whether it's supervision, emotional control, whatever the safety concern is. Let's talk about family level outcome statements. What were our thoughts about developing a family level outcome statement?
Jessica, I want to read it because I forgot it in my head.
Oh my God.
just read it. We did it together.
Okay. So we came up with the family will successfully use the curfew plan to promote the safety of the children.
Not to promote, we didn't say to promote, to keep the children safe.
Yeah.
From what?
Oh yeah, from what? Because they're spending time.
Safe from harm.
But let's be specific here, right? 'Cause
Yeah, it has to be measurable and a specific measurable. Safe from. Chandler, where are you when I need you?
So Jessica, remind me the name of your.
I'm sorry, my internet's kind of bad. Oh no, I was just saying I'm sorry, my internet's kind of bad, so I'm like cutting in and out.
Yeah, we said
So the family will successfully use their curfew. You called it a curfew plan.
To keep the children safe from what, Chandler? And I'm not putting you on the spot, you know, if I know it.
No, to make sure that the children are adequately supervised and.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. The supervision is the safety purpose. Right. We're not just saying we'll monitor. Like we'll monitor safety. We need to be very specific and have intention about what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Very easy to get distracted otherwise.
Thank you, Chandler.
Any other thoughts about family level outcomes? Okay. We are good. Has anyone had any other troubles or difficulties accessing the course material ahead of time? If you have, please let me know. We were able to get a report to see like who has accessed it. So if you haven't been able to access it, please let me know so we can fix that issue. Please type your name into the chat if you haven't done so already, so I can have attendance for today. If you have already typed your name into the chat and you don't have any questions, you are good to go. Thank you so much. And we'll see you not next week. We're not with each other next week, but the week after that.
Maria, I have a question.
I do too.
Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you able to send us like this? Because this is such a good reminder and samples for the workers to remember how to do this. And can you send us some of the we're talking in the group? It will be very helpful for us to use it in the learning process. Thank you.
And thank you, Maria. I really enjoyed this. It was very helpful.
Oh, thank you, Adelina.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Oh, Maria, don't leave. I'm not able to access webinar.
Bias laptop die.
You heard me? Okay.
Thank you.
What is it? You need the webinar? Oh.
Yes.
Christina? Yeah, for some of the people that missed it. And